Greetings, everybody. Today we're going to look at GPG. Well, a brief introduction, GPG is known as GNUPG or the GNU Privacy Guard, and it's used for secure communication. Say if you wanted to send a message through email, but you didn't trust your email system, you could also use GPG as a further way means to encrypt your message so only you and the sender could see and no one else, not even anything else in your system, could look at it. And it uses a form of public key cryptography, so you have a key pair, a public key and a private key. But what's different and so special about GNUPG, it takes us a step further by providing subordinate key pairs in order to provide a more secure encryption. So I'm going to take a look at today as to how I came across GPG. So I went on a bug bounty for one of the ads that I use on Stripe. And Stripe, if anyone's familiar, is a payment API. Very important that if you find any security bugs with the application you're using, that you want to report it to these people. And the way that they wanted me to do it was using their GPG on their TGP key. And this is their public key right here. Very massive, 496 bits. So obviously double your regular on size for a SSH key. And I also provide a fingerprint here, very important, and a user ID. Right, and these are very important. When you make GPG keys, it's just not a regular certificate. It has to be for a specific recipient, and that's what we're going to see as we go to this tutorial today. So let's go through our Kali Linux shell and just figure out what's going on to ls. So my GPG, if I go ahead and cat that, is basically not my GPG, but the GPG for Stripe. I should change that to Stripe. Right, but let's just go through a basic tutorial of how we can encrypt messages for Stripe. So when we have a public key that we want to start using with our GPG software, we do GPG import. GPG. Right, this command really simple. Right, and if you do GPG list keys, right, we find that we have our key. Now we finally have our public key, and we can use it to lock our message into GPG. And now, in order to take our message that we have, let's first of all go ahead and cat findings. So this is my security report here, my findings, and I want to lock this in a encrypted GPG message. In order to do that, very, very simple. TXT. Right? So when we're using someone else's public key, there's no guarantee, but we have a fingerprint. And if you take a close look at that fingerprint, the fingerprint that we see here is the same as a fingerprint that they provided for us. This is how we know that the key came from them. It's like a hash. It's like a fingerprint is like a hash. So when we see that, we could go ahead and confirm that, hey, this is our key that we can use. This is our key that came from Stripe, and we could trust it and we can encrypt it. So if there's ever MITM, we know that the attacker won't be able to open it, and we're not using the attacker's key if they provided for one through like our CRSF on this website. So let's continue. And that's it. GPG. Or we could cat it. I'm sorry about that. It's a command. It's a encrypted file. And this is not even this is obviously binary, as you can see here. So obviously a couple of tools before we could start trying to decrypt this message, right? And we could just take that and send it along to Stripe, and they'll be able to decrypt it. So now, how you can use this in your own personal life? What we can do is we can create our own key pair, and just as we imported a key pair, it's very, very easy to generate a key. And I want to point out something about this GPG software. It's very, very smart. It usually knows what you mean when you type it. So when you have an error like this, when you have misspellings like this, it would, instead of to throw an error, it usually figure it out if it has enough information. So I'll go ahead and press enter on this misspelling. It's supposed to generate key, but let's see what happens. That's a bit ambiguous, right? Generate, right? And I didn't even finish it out, but then it was able to figure it out. So we're generating a pair of keys, and we have some information to input. Well, obviously this is a weak passphrase, but just for the sake of time, I'll let it go. Obviously, you want to make a very long one. Even GTG will warn you, hey, this is a weak passphrase. Better for on those who are not technically aware of what's going on. So here we go. We have our public key, or user ID, and we have our sub. Well, this sub I believe to be known as a secret. And by default, this key here is 3072 bytes and left. Very important. That's a default there. And you want to use GPG full generate key in order to edit such details. And if you look into the documentation, they have details on what you can fully edit with the GPG key. But all we want to do right now is able to encrypt our data that we want to keep very, very secure with GPG and able to decrypt it at the same time. So obviously, to encrypt it, we're going to use an encrypt flag, but obviously we're going to change our recipient from Stripe to our own personal email, our own user ID for our GPG. Take that, and this time we won't get any sort of questioning because it's our own. Oh yeah, no. I'm encrypting, not decrypting, so I have to change the output here. Mine.gpg, right? And there we go. So now we go ahead and have mine.gpg just to make sure that our own key can encrypt and be just as powerful as any other key out there. So now here's what's really cool. We can decrypt the message. And in order to decrypt, it's another simple command. Very, very simple. A lot of very simple stuff. And now we provide our password. Oh, I don't think I put my password in correctly. Oh, I pressed the cancel button. Okay, that's what happened. So now we go ahead and cat the mine.txt. We get back our security port that we sent back to Stripe. So this was an amazing, cool exercise, but this is a very, very, very quick way in order to encrypt and decrypt your file, encrypt important pieces of information if you want to store them into the files. GNUPG has a very good website that elaborates and goes in depth. Here, and when Stripe showed this to me, this was a very amazing tool. that I just wanted to share with you all. So definitely, if anyone has any follow-up, reach out to me and have a great day. Thank you all.